slacker. We've got work to do.
At Xbox's first developer direct, Microsoft shocked fans by shadow-dropping the latest title from famed Japanese developer Tango Gameworks, Hi-Fi Rush. With a stacked set list of mechanics, upgrades, and intimidating enemies, there's a lot to unpack in this high-octane outing. Thankfully, we've assembled a list of useful tips to help you effectively overcome any challenge this game throws your way. Here are 11 electrifying tips and tricks to help you play like a rock star in Hi-Fi Rush. The first and probably most important tip we'd recommend in Hi-Fi Rush is checking your latency. In the Sound tab of the Options menu, you'll find the Latency Check tool. Here, you can slide the blinking cat logo until its flash lines up with the moving beat marker. This provides a visual representation of how much audio lag you're working with, and can be a good way to figure out if you need to change your hardware settings for better game performance. While Hi-Fi Rush doesn't exactly penalize players for attacking off rhythm, it's still in your best interest to find and maintain the beat. If you're struggling to determine the cadence of a particular track, pressing the back button in-game toggles on or off the in-game visualizer. This feature introduces a visual grid that highlights the tempo of the current song and serves as a handy assistant for players struggling to stay on beat with audio cues alone. Additionally, the background objects and your feline companion 808 supply further visual rhythm indicators. One thing you'll likely notice about our goofball protagonist Chai is that he isn't always the quickest on his feet. He literally marches to the beat of the world around him. This can make encroaching on enemies feel a bit slow. Thankfully, there are quick and effective methods of closing the gap. Once you get it, press left bumper to activate your grapple shot, which pulls you towards targeted foes. This is an outstanding way to chase fleeing enemies or assault annoying airborne adversaries. You can also hit right bumper to dash, which is another potent means of achieving bursts of speed. If you're on beat with your dashes, you can also perform 3 dashes back to back. And if you're using a dashing attack, you can even cancel it back into a dash to feel really fancy. A majority of your time spent battling mechanized opponents will likely be with your feet firmly planted on the ground. However, you can alleviate a bit of pressure by taking the fight to the skies. There are numerous ways to launch an opponent into the air, the easiest of which is to dash towards them with right bumper and then press Y. Alternatively, you could also use a rest combo by pressing X, waiting a beat, and then pressing XX. Juggling enemies keeps them from performing actions, which in turn prevents you from getting smacked. Once they're in the air, executing a 4-hit combo will knock them away. But if you stagger your combo by only doing 3 hits, waiting, and then starting the combo over, you can remain in the air and secure extra damage. Also, don't forget that you can call in Peppermint as an assist to keep an enemy in the air, even if you drop back down to the ground. Dodging is a crucial mechanic in Hi-Fi Rush. Many attacks must be dodged on beat to avoid taking damage. Don't be afraid to hit right bumper frantically and frequently. While combos serve as your primary means of dishing out destruction, you can dodge cancel a combo to evade incoming attacks. Simply press right bumper in between hits to move Chai out of harm's way. You can also dodge cancel entire attacks by pressing right bumper during windup. This is helpful because the final hit of a combo will knock an opponent away, but if you dodge cancel before the final hit, you can restart the combo and keep the enemy in front of you. Outside of tactical escapes, dodging on beat is another way to maintain your combo if you aren't actively clobbering enemies. Like any iconic Rockstar, Chai uses his guitar to destroy objects with no remorse. And in Hi-Fi Rush, we highly recommend you embrace that devil-may-care attitude and smash everything in sight. Gears, restorative health items, and even permanent upgrades can be found by demolishing boxes, barrels, statues, and vending machines. Who knows what treasures you might find on the other side of a curiously placed stack of objects. So, to be safe, swing away. Hi-Fi Rush is fairly linear by design, but there are still plenty of secrets and worthwhile items to find if you're willing to venture off the beaten path. Before using visual clues to progress along the main route, check your surroundings and investigate any avenues that seem a bit more subtle. Often you'll be rewarded with gears, collectibles, new attacks, and robotic chests filled with upgrade items. The parry is one of the most important techniques to learn in Hi-Fi Rush, and it's also one of the most difficult. It's simple in concept. Press B when an enemy attack is about to connect with Chai, but the timing window is very small. One thing that'll make it easier is to anticipate the hit by listening to the beat of the soundtrack. Enemy attacks will always land on beat, so keep in mind how many beats of wind-up individual attacks have so you know when to use a parry. Certain attacks also have visual cues to help you find the right parry timings, which is helpful in a pinch. Parrying is especially important against tough enemies, as it's usually the fastest way to break their stun gauges and make them vulnerable to air combos and staggers. But also note that these enemies typically have attacks that hit multiple times and must be parried in succession. You'll frequently find yourself surrounded by enemies in Hi-Fi Rush. Thankfully, there are capable options to help you secure some breathing room. The breakdown combo, which can be activated by pressing XYY, is terrific at pummeling any enemies surrounding you. Many special attacks also deliver tremendous area of effect damage that possess incredible knockback and clearing power. To activate your special attacks, simply click in both sticks simultaneously. Special attacks in Hi-Fi Rush have wildly different attack patterns, and sometimes don't do damage at all. This means it's in your best interest to experiment with the various abilities at your disposal. While it can be rather expensive to unlock them all, it's worth investing your gears into a handful of special attacks to try and find one that best suits your playstyle. Unconventional special attacks like Pick Me Up can even provide critical health during challenging encounters. Honing your music chops and studying combos are commendable ways to improve your skills in Hi-Fi Rush. However, without investing in the proper upgrades, you might be working harder than you need to be. Make sure to invest those shiny gears into stat upgrades, new combos, and passive buffs. These robust unlocks and enhancements can be purchased at the Hideout or from Peppermint vending machines in stages. From permanent health increases to reverb gauge improvements, there are dozens of goodies to earn. A few highly recommended early game pickups are the life gauges, which increase Chai's maximum health, and the health tank, which enables the ability to pool excess health pickups into a life-saving reserve tank that automatically activates when your health gauge is depleted. And that does it for our list of headline-worthy tips and tricks for Hi-Fi Rush. Hopefully, these quick and easy nuggets of wisdom help guide you on your journey to Rock God superstardom. There's plenty more to discuss and uncover in this outstanding action title. And for everything else gaming, keep it here on IGN.